I grew up on the northeast side of Oklahoma City, low income, poverty areas, and really, honestly, I just kind of followed my brother. I followed my uncles, my cousins. I really wanted to, fit in. I have friends in the neighborhood. We just run the streets and do what we do. And to be honest, I got jumped in the gang when I was 11, and so in a time where you didn't choose to be jumped in gangs, so it's kind of like, are you in a gang? No, okay, now you're in a gang, so I didn't really, sign up, but it just kind of had that went down just because of where I was at, and that changed a lot for me, being in that situation. Dabbed in the drugs, marijuana mainly, and I really, just didn't have any leadership. You know what I'm saying? Like, the community was my leadership. Since I lived in a rough community, that was kind of where I judged my success levels off of. Man, I had 3 friends that I hung out with that dropped out of school, in like between 8th and 10th grade. You know what I'm saying? So for me, a big turning point in my life started actually with a band director in 6th grade, which was the year I got jumped in the gang. And I was reading sheet music, and a lot of the other kids wasn't. So like, she recommended that I get transferred to a music school, which was Klassen. Shout out to my alumni. And I went under her recommendation. I didn't really have the behavioral requirements to go, but I had the talent requirements, so they let me go. And that kind of started a lot for me. That made a really big difference, being in a different environment, being around music a lot. And from that, I ran in the Exodus movement a little bit later when I was about 15, and I started producing for them. That's all I did. I rapped at the time too, but it just wasn't clean and all of that. So I kind of had the dream of being like a big time rap star. Like, I'm gonna produce, I'm gonna rap, I'm gonna do that. And I met those guys, man, and they kind of really just kind of discipled me. And then I met Josh Curry. He's pastor of the Frontline chain out here, and he was a youth pastor at the time, and then he started mentoring me. I met Vernon Dees with Group Fly. He started mentoring me, and I just really had people around me that was discipling and mentoring me at a time in my life when it was either prison or God, you know what I'm saying? And I remember having a Bible study one day, and I didn't really want to be there, and I was with Exodus, and they were in my house uninvitedly having Bible study, and I'm just like, come on, man. So I'm laid on the floor, I have a bad attitude, I got a pager, you know what I'm saying? I'm like looking at I'm just not interested. And they were talking Revelations, and they were talking about, you neither hot or cold, you lukewarm. And I just started, at that moment, I didn't have an altar call or nothing like that. It was a moment where I had to ask God, or evaluate myself and say, am I for real? Like, am I hot or cold, or am I lukewarm? Because I really felt like I was cool. I'm helping these Christian guys do music, and then I'm out living my life doing what I want to do. But it was that moment, it was really clear to me that, I needed to commit to something and take whatever road I take in my life, take it serious. And it was at that moment, where I just prayed and asked God to forgive me and just said, I want to submit my whole life to you, and I'm gonna do it all the way. And ever since that point, I looked at Bible studies differently. I looked at the people that were speaking in my life and discipling me. I viewed their wisdom and direction differently, because I knew that they were trying to get me where I committed to God I wanted to go. And ever since then, man, it's been ups and downs, but it's been really, it's been a real thing, so that's kind of where I came to Christ, and I kind of made the commitment to continue that, and to make sure that I can be that to another young kid, because I was young, when that happened. So I want to make sure that I'm doing my part to keep that cycle going. The community, that's my full time. So like, music is actually the part time of what I do. Like, I'm very active in the Northeast Side and the Highlands, Oklahoma City North Side and the East Side. I work with Youth for Christ on campuses, doing campus ministry and discipleship, mentoring with. I do some mentoring with the Mentoring Project, which they're out of Portland, and so they came here, and I do mentor care where I train mentors. I work with FACT program, which is a Oklahoma City Police Department initiative, where some guys that usually run like the gang task force and things like that, more so they're in plain clothes and they're doing like community work. So I work with them. I'm a youth pastor at my church. Man, I can go all day with partnerships, but that's the me. I mean, that's my Monday through Friday, you know. So taking kids to camp, KAA, whatever camp let us run in with 150 kids, you know, and recruiting people. So anybody in OKC, you know, if you're looking to get into some really good mentoring, discipleship stuff with some kids that need it, you know, I got you. I got some good opportunities out there for people. So.